In this video, I want to show you how to crochet these super cute bag charms. We have a red wine, a white wine, and an Aperol Spritz with these orange slices. You can either put them on a keychain and attach them to your bag, or you can go with these options with a tie and a little charm at the end. For this project, I will use a yarn for 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter needles, my 2 millimeter crochet hook, a basting needle, scissors, and some fiber fill. That's all. We will start with the stem, which is the same for all our variations. So put the yarn around your thumb like this. Go in with the hook, grab the yarn and twist it at the same time when you come back out. Yarn over and pull through this tiny loop here. And this is our magic ring. And into this magic ring I will do 8 single crochets, but I will do the yarn under technique, meaning I go through here and the yarn is under my hook when I yarn under. In this case I pull through and I do a single crochet, 8 in total. 1, 2. The reason why we do this, it's a much sturdier single crochet and it's best for amigurumi. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 8. All right, then we close our magic ring and we will work in closed rounds, meaning we close each round with a slip stitch and a chain. So I go through my very first stitch right here and I will do a slip stitch, going through the hook, loop on the hook as well, and I chain 1, and this is the end of our first round. In our next round we will increase from 8 to 16 stitches by doing 2 single crochets into each stitch, and I will start with the stitch I did my slip stitch in. So I go through here and I will do 2 single crochets in the same stitch, 1 and 2. And then I will move to my next one. But now, to make life easier, I will use a stitch marker. So I will know where to end my round. So again, 1 and 2. And I will do this until I get to the end of the round. 1 and 2. And the last increase, 1 and 2. And we will close our round into this stitch I marked before with a slip stitch and a chain. So through the loop on your hook right away and chain 1. And whoops, we're done with our second round. In the third round, I will close the magic ring even more. In the third round, we will do 1 single crochet and 1 increase, 1 single crochet and 1 increase to get from 16 stitches to 24. So we start in the same stitch we did the slip stitch in. In this stitch I will do 1 single crochet. I will mark my stitch again. And then I will do an increase. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch. And again 1 single crochet. And then we have 1 increase. 1 and 2 in the same stitch. Repeat this all the way around. I am about to close my round now, but in this case we will not do a regular slip stitch through both loops like we did before. we will do a slip stitch through the back loop only, and I will show you in a second why. So only go through the back loop of this very first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook, and chain 1. And this is our third round done. And now we get to the point where we will crochet up and do the neck. This next round will be a round with decreases, and we will only go through the back loops of these loops from the previous round, and we will do 1 single crochet and 1 decrease, 1 single crochet and 1 decrease. So let's do the first stitch where we did a slip stitch in. So just do a single crochet, and the next 2 loops we will crochet together. So go through, get the yarn, pull through, go through the next back loop, get the yarn, pull through 3 loops on your hook, and pull through all 3 loops. Then we have 1 single crochet. I forgot to mark my stitch. I will do this real quick right here. And next we have a decrease again. So get the yarn, go through the second loop, get the yarn, 3 loops, and pull through all 3 loops at the same time. And again, single crochet and decrease. Repeat until you get to the end of the round. And I'm at my last decrease through all 3 loops, and I will close my round the regular way by doing a slip stitch going through both loops this time. Get the yarn and pull the yarn right through the loop on your hook and chain 1. And this slowly is starting to be the base of our neck or of our glass. In the next round, we will do decreases all around. So the difference is we will go through both loops again. So we're done with the back loops part. We only did this so we get this sharp corner here. So now go through the same loop you did the slip stitch in, get the yarn, pull through, go through the next, both loops, next loop, get the yarn, pull through, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. I will mark my stitch. So we're going back to 8 stitches by doing this. Through, get the yarn, next loop, go through, get the yarn, pull through all 3 loops. Repeat until you get to the end of the round. All right, last decrease, and I once again close my round with a slip stitch and a chain, and we're down to 8 stitches, and you can now see that this looks like the base of the glass. We will do, first off, I will put this yarn, pull tight again, I will put this yarn inside here. Now with the yarn gone, we will continue with our next round, and we will decrease from 8 to 6 stitches, and we will do 2 single crochets and a decrease for 2 times, and then we're back at 6, or we're at 6 stitches. I will start with the same stitch I did my slip stitch in. So go through, yarn under, do your first single crochet, mark my stitch. If you're comfortable, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it so you can see where we're at. the second single crochet, and we will do a decrease. So go through the loops, yarn under, go through the next loop. Now I have this yarn I was hiding in my way, and pull through all 3 loops at the same time. This gets quite fiddly because the size is not, it's quite tiny, so just be patient. 1 single crochet, another single crochet, and a decrease. So go through this loop. I pulled up a loop here. I will hide this later. Go through this loop, go through the next loop, get the yarn, 3 loops, pull through all 3 loops at the same time, and end your round into the first single crochet with a slip stitch and a chain. All right, slip stitch, chain, and we're down at 6 stitches. And the only thing that's left to do to complete our base or our stem is do rows of 6 single crochets. In total, we will need 6 rounds. So just do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Mark your round if you don't feel comfortable and you don't want to get lost, and end each round with a single crochet, or sorry, a slip stitch of course, and a chain. So in total 6 of them. And number 6. And now end your round with a slip stitch and a chain. And this is round 1 done, and we need 5 more, 6 in total. So I completed the 6 rows of single crochets, and before we continue, I want to show you a way to get your amigurumi even sturdier, because now it's really floppy. And if you want, I mean, it's a keychain, it doesn't have to be, but maybe you use it for something else. And I just take a paper straw and I fold it because it's too wide, and I just stuff it in. So I just go through the whole neck and I put the paper straw in, and this makes it sturdier and it helps to stand up if you want the cup to, or the glass to stand up. And before we continue, we will undo the very last stitch because we will have a color transition now. So if you did a slip stitch and a chain, undo this, and also undo the last loop of the last single crochet. So like this. I mean, if you go too far, just do the single crochet again. But do not finish the single crochet with your white. So get your new color. In our case, it's orange. If I can get it ready. Put it on your hook and pull it through this single crochet right here to finish the stitch. All right, and now we will just finish the round like we always did, with a slip stitch and a chain in the very first single crochet of the round. So pull through the loop on your hook and chain 1. And at this point, I will just do it this way. At this point, you can cut the white yarn and tie a knot with the orange and the white. And this is how we secure the yarn. There's no need to weave in or crochet in. We can just hide this inside. So tie the knot and stuff it inside. Now we can start with our glass, in our case in color of orange, and we will do an increase from 6 to 12 stitches, meaning we increase each stitch around. So go through the same stitch you did a slip stitch in, and do 2 single crochets into the same stitch and mark your stitch. So this is my first increase. This is my second increase, 2 in the same stitch, number 3, number 4, number 5, and a little hidden down here because of the color change, we have our number 6. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch. All right, and we close around with our slip stitch and a chain. So go through the loop on your hook and chain 1. In the next round we will increase from 12 to 18 stitches, doing 1 single crochet and an increase. So go through the same stitch you did your slip stitch in, do 1 single crochet, mark your stitch, and then we do an increase in the next stitch. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch. Then we have a single crochet and an increase, 1 and 2 in the same stitch. Repeat this all the way around. And we end around with a slip stitch and a chain. We're up to 18 stitches. We keep increasing, now up to 24, doing 2 single crochets and an increase. Going through the same stitch you did your slip stitch in, first single crochet, mark the round or the stitch, second single crochet and increase. Repeat all the way around. All right, close the round, slip stitch and chain. And we're at 24 stitches now. We go up to 30, doing 3 single crochets and an increase. So start with the same stitch you did your slip stitch in, mark the round or the stitch, 1, 2, whoops, I have to repeat the second one, 2, 3, and then I will do my increase, 1 and 2 in the same stitch. Repeat this all the way around. Close our round with a slip stitch, go through here, slip stitch and chain 1, and our glass is getting bigger and bigger. And now we will come to our last increase, doing 4 single crochets and an increase to get to 36 stitches. So go through the same stitch again, do your first single crochet, number 2, 3, and 4, and then you do your increase. Repeat this all the way around. end the round with a slip stitch and a chain, and we are at 36 stitches now. What we will do next is 4 rounds of just 36 stitches, so no increase, no decrease, just 1 stitch in each stitch around. So start with the same stitch you did the slip stitch in and mark your round, and just go around for 4 rounds in total. I finished my 4 rounds of 36 single crochets, and what we will do next is do a row of decreases to get from 36 to 30 stitches, and we will do 4 single crochets and a decrease. So, oh, I forgot my chain 1, so I will do 1 single crochet in the same stitch I did the slip stitch in, mark my stitch, 2, 3 and 4, and now I will do my decrease. There are many ways you can decrease your work. Here I did decreases by going through, get a loop, through this next stitch, get a loop, and then pull through all 3 loops. Here I will do the invisible decrease. And it's just another version. You can decide for yourself what you want to do. So only go through the front loop, then go through the next front loop right away without even getting the yarn first. Now you yarn over, pull through, and then you pull through the both 2 loops you have on your hook. Let's do that again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now you go through the front loop of the next stitch, front loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through those front loops. That didn't get the whole loop, I'm stuck here. Yeah, and now yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. Repeat all the way to the other side. I'm about to end my round, but I will undo the last loop I pulled through this decrease because we have yet another color change, and we will go from orange to white. So I will put this yarn on top of my hook, pull through here, and finish my round with a slip stitch and a chain. So go through the loop on your hook right away, pull everything tight, and do a chain. And now we can cut the orange yarn and do a knot. And before we continue on, I tied the knot. Before we continue on, this is the last round, but we need the lid that goes on top of our drink. So put this away, get your orange again, and do a magic ring with 6 single crochets inside. So do a magic ring, go through here, get the yarn, twist it, get the yarn and pull it through this loop. Into this magic ring, do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, close the magic ring by doing a slip stitch in the very first stitch of the round. Right here, whoops, get the yarn and also pull it through your hook and chain 1. and this is our first round. In the next round, we increase from 6 to 12 by doing increases in each stitch. So go through the same stitch you did your slip stitch in. 1, mark your stitch, and 2 in the same stitch. Do this for 6 times all the way around. Close your round with a slip stitch and a chain. And in the next round we go from 12 to 18 stitches by doing 1 single crochet and an increase. Start in the same stitch you did your slip stitch. This is our single crochet. Mark it, and then we do our increase in the next stitch. 1 and 2. Then we have a single crochet and an increase. Repeat all the way around. Close the round, slip stitch and chain. In the next round we increase to 24 by doing 2 single crochets and an increase. So first single crochet, second, and the increase 1 and 2 in the same stitch. First, second, and then we have our increase 1 and 2 in the same stitch all the way around. Close your round, slip stitch and chain, and we get to our very last round of this lid, going to 30 stitches by doing 3 single crochets and an increase. So this is my first, second, number 3, and then we have our increase. Repeat this all the way around. I will end the round with a slip stitch, and I will not do a chain. I will fasten off, and you can either leave this, but I like to weave it in because otherwise it just opens up like this and it bothers me. So weave in this yarn, no need to weave in this, and then we attach it to the glass. With our lid done, we can continue with our glass. Get your hook back in, and now we will attach the lid. I will do single crochets all around without increases or decreases, so in total 30. And what we will do is go through the same stitch you did your slip stitch in, through both loops, and with the lid only go through the top loop. So this is the bottom loop, this is the bottom loop, and this is the top loop. So only go through the top loop. All right. So only go through this loop and do your single crochet. Next stitch through both loops at the glass and through the top loop here. through both loops here and through the top loop of the lid. And before you get to the very end, do not forget to stuff the glass, of course. So do not crochet it shut, and then you have to just undo a few stitches. That's also okay. But just stuff it, not too firmly. And then you can close it and end the round with a slip stitch. Once you're done, you can just cut the yarn and weave in this yarn tail. Now we have two options. Option number one is to just put a chain on this glass to add it to your bag, or you can do a tie, which we will connect to the glass behind the orange slice we will do here, and also to the orange slice at the end we will do. If you decide to go with a chain, you do not have to do the next step, because we will do the tie. I will weave this in and then continue with the tie. All right, let's continue with this tie. For this, I will go back to the white color. You can do it in any color you want. And on this end, I have my yarn, and on this end, it's just a yarn end. So I hope you know what I mean. And this is about 60 centimeters, about, let's say, 23, 24 inches long. And here I will do a slip knot. So go in with your hook like this and do a regular slip knot. The reason why this end is so long is because we will do sort of a 3D stem. You can also do just a regular chain, so chain it as long as you want, but this one's more sturdy and it just looks better. So in this case, take the yarn and put it around your hook. This is the yarn end. Put it around your hook from the front to the back, and then yarn over and pull through. This is a little fiddly, the beginning. Pull through both loops at the same time. And then you repeat. Put the yarn around your hook from the front to the back and pull through both loops. And just continue on doing this. It gets easier the longer the chain gets. Just do this as long as you want. This is up to personal preference. I just decided to do mine like with an end of 60 centimeters. And you can make it as short or as long as you want. So there's no right or wrong. Just keep on doing this. Around your hook, pull through. Around your hook, pull through. And this gives you this beautiful 3D looking chain. So I finished my chain, and in the end it's about 17 centimeters. That is 7 inches. And I left this tail. Then I will also cut the yarn here, because I will need this to attach it to the glass. So do not work all the way so you only have a short stubby end. Leave a little bit of a yarn tail. And we will put this aside and start with the orange slice. We will now get to our orange slice, and we have 2 of those. Or let's say 4, but I will explain. So start with a magic ring and do 8 single crochets into this magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 8. And we will, and we will close our magic ring with a slip stitch and a chain. So go through the first single crochet of the round, do a slip stitch and a chain. In the next round I will increase from 8 to 16 by doing increases in each stitch. So 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And I will not mark my stitch. I will show you in a second why. So this is my first increase. Again, 1 and 2, the second, 8 in total, number 3, number 3, number 4, number 5, six, 7, and number 8, last increase. We will not close our round. We will not close our round with a slip stitch. Leave the round open. And now fasten off. And we need the exact same piece again. So I will fasten off and weave in this yarn tail. And remember, do not close the round. So this is our first piece, and let's repeat the same thing. Magic ring. Eight single crochets. 1, 2, whoops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we will close our magic ring with a slip stitch into the first stitch of the round right here, and chain 1, and now we increase to 16, doing increases in each stitch. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch I did the slip stitch in, second increase 1 and 2, third, number 4, number 5, six, increase number 7, whoops, and the last one, number 8 right here. And I will not close my round. I will leave it open like this. And what we have to do next is put both pieces together. And to do this, make sure, I will close this magic ring more. Make sure you have the right side facing out. So this is the wrong side and this is the right side. I want you to align them so you have this side outside and this side. If you see it, you know it. Then turn your work and do single crochets all the way around. I have my hook twisted by going through the first single crochet of the front piece and the single crochet in the back. And we will do 1 single crochet, and the next stitch is going to be an increase because we want to get from 16 to 24 stitches. So single crochet, and the next one is going to be an increase. Find the right stitches in the front and in the back piece and do 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And then we have a single crochet again. So always make sure, because it can be tricky to get the right loops. Here we will do an increase. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch. and 2 in the same stitch. All right, and you can clearly see the gap now we have, and this is perfect to attach our slice to the glass. And we're fast enough, leaving a long yarn tail to attach it. And what we need to do next is embroider a pattern so it looks like an actual orange slice. So I will get my white yarn, put it on my basting needle, and I will start here by going around the last row. So up here I will leave a longer, like I need a long yarn piece. Then I will go back down here. I will do the outer circle kind of first. Up here, down here, making sure the orange yarn is not in my way. Up here, down here, all the way to the other side. All right, and I'm at the end. I will go down here, and now I will start with going to the middle, and this means from the bottom to the top I will go like this. Then I will go through here again, and then I will find my way backwards through this stitch. And then we'll go down here again, back through the middle, and here. The reason why I do it is because I want it to be the same pattern in the front and in the back. Now take the orange and attach it to your drink. Just find the right spot. I decided to do it where the rounds are closed. I will just try to attach it. So I will go through here. Then I will go through my orange. Again through my glass. Just find a way to attach it. And all that's left is weaving in this piece. Now I can weave in the orange just down the glass. Skip a stitch and go the same way back. Just a few stitches. And I can cut the yarn. All right, if you want, you can attach charm to your bag with a chain, or we will do the other orange slice with this tail. And for this we will make 2 round pieces the same way we did here, but we always close the round. So we will do a magic ring with 8 and 16 stitches, another piece with 8 and 16 stitches, and then crochet together these 2 pieces with 24 stitches, and always closing the round. So I have one piece with 16 stitches where I just fastened off and weaved in the yarn tail a little bit. And here I have my other piece with 16 stitches, and I will now put these 2 together the correct way facing out. Whoops. I forgot to do a chain here. By going through the stitch in the front and the stitch in the back and doing a single crochet. And the same we did here, we have to increase in this round. So 1 single crochet, and then we will have an increase. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch. Single crochet. Whoops. Single crochet. And increase. Finding the right stitch. 1 and 2 in the same stitch. Single crochet and increase, and I will also attach the tail into this slice. I will take this, I will leave this end to attach it to the glass, and I will take this, and when I do my next single crochet I will put this here, then we go through here, through this tie, and through the correct stitch in the back, and I will just do a single crochet, and then in the next stitch I have my increase. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch, and this is pretty secure. Continue doing this until you get to the end of the round. Single crochet, increase. And I will end my round with a slip stitch. And our orange slice is done and the tail is secure. I can cut the yarn and weave this end in. And I will embroider the orange slice pattern the same way I did with this one. I've finished my orange slice, and all that is left to do is attach this to the glass, and it's fairly easy. I will take one of the ends. Now we'll do it right behind the orange. I will go in 1 row away from the white and down 1 stitch, like this and like this. And I take the other end and I go, if I show you, I go in here, no here, sorry, and come out the same spot I did before, like this. All right, and now I can tie a knot. in these 2 strands. And what I can do now is put both ends on my basting needle, go through the same hole where I came out of, and just go down and pull through, because that will make the knot disappear. Our tie is all secure now. I can cut these pieces here, these strands, and our little charm is done. You can tie this to a bag and you have your Aperol Spritz charm. I also prepared the same one with red wine with a burgundy color, and here you could also just attach a chain and your glass is done, or you can do another tie, and on the end of the tie we can put a grape in the same color. And to do this, I will get my burgundy color and I will do a magic ring into this magic ring. We do 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 and 6. We will close our magic ring with a slip stitch and a chain. Slip stitch through the first stitch and a chain. And now I will increase to 12 stitches by doing 1 increase in each stitch around. I will start with the one I did my slip stitch in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will close my round with a slip stitch and a chain. And before we continue, I will take my hook, come through the magic ring from bottom to top, take my tie, take the end that does not have the yarn tails, put it on my hook and pull it through this hole here. Get it off the hook and make a knot. Just like this. Make sure it's a good one. All right. And this is how we secure the grape to the tie. Next we will do 4 rounds of just 12 single crochets. So there will be no increase, no decrease, just 1 stitch in each stitch around. So I'm done with my 4 rounds of 12 single crochets. I ended with a slip stitch and a chain. And before I do my last round, I will stuff the grape. I have too much. I will stuff the grape a little bit. And now we will do a row of decreases. We go from 12 to 6 stitches. And for this, we will do decreases for each 2 stitches. I will do this invisible decrease again. So through the front loops of both stitches, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the both loops on your hook. So this was the first one, the second one, number 3, and end with a slip stitch in the very first stitch. Time to fasten off. Put the end on a basting needle, and to close the grape I will go around front loop of each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Pull tight and weave in this end. Pull it in a little and just weave in the yarn. And I will attach this tail the same way I did with the Aperol Spritz. And I am also done with my red wine. So we have our Aperol, our red wine, and I also made another option in green for white wine, light green, with a green grape at the end. So I hope you liked my little tutorial, and thanks for watching.